Take one. Hi guys, Greg at G.H.Guitars again. Bit of a, I don't want to use the term sort of throwaway lesson, but a little bit of fun this one. This is very much is a very rough guide to a song by Jimmy Barnes called Good Times. I think this is from the Lost Boys soundtrack. I think it's Jimmy Barnes and some of the guys from NXS. So again, I break down the little bits of it. We'll break them down and let's see what's going on. So if I take the song right back to the very start, I'll show you the intro riff. Okay, so what have we got going on? We've got the D string on fret number 5. We've got to go 5 on the D string, 5 down to 4. Eventually end up on fret number 2. I'll put a couple of variations in as well, depending on how difficult you want to make this. So it's going to go 5, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 2 on the D string, 5, 4, 2. If you want the notes, it'll be G, F sharp and E, G, F sharp and E. Okay, to add another level to that, if you like, put it and make it a bit more complicated, you can go 5, open string, to 4, open string, 2. And I would be doing those as pull-offs as well. So 5, pull off, 4, pull off, 2, 5, 4. And the pull-off is very subtle. Another thing you can add to it as well, if you want to do a bit of a stretch, add the open A string to it. And the way we would do that then would be without the pull-offs. Here's what we have. Let me put this on my back pickup and turn the volume down a little bit. And here's what we've got. We've got the open A string. It's a bit of a stretch. It is a bit of a stretch, but we've got to get a little finger up as far as fret 5 on the D string, open A, and fret 5 on the D at the same time. Then we've got finger number 3 going to fret number 4, again on the D string. Open A string is still there, and finger number 1 ends up on the D string, fret number 2. So let's run that by again. We're using the open A string as like a drone note, that's there. And we're strumming the open A string and the D string on fret number 5, moving from fret number 5 to fret number 4, down to fret number 2. Okay, so maybe if you don't want to do the stretch, there we go, there's another option as well. So we can go open A string, use finger number 2, hit that D string on fret number 5. Finger number 1 then takes care of fret number 4. And with a slide we can get down to the E note on fret number 2. So if I go back to the start of the song, I'll play all of those variations of the song. I'll do the single note, the pull off, slide, the chord, double stops, and the double stops with just the first and second fingers. Single notes, pull-offs, pull-offs, double stops. Okay, just before the verse, we've got, I think it's around about 8 seconds, we've got 3 chords to do as well, and the 3 chords happen at the same time as the riff happens as well. So unless you've got a second guitarist playing that part, it's virtually impossible to play both at the same time. So you get, I take you have a choice. So if you've had enough of playing the riff over, then do the chords. So let's take this up to, here we go. Okay, we're looking for a part at 8 seconds. Oh, it's lyrics there. Okay. Okay, the part we're looking for is actually at 21 seconds into the song. 21 seconds into the song, we've got a G and a D and an A. For the G chord, we've got finger 2, fret number 3 on the low E string, A string fret number 2, open D, open G. I'm going fret number 3 on the B string, and I'm going fret number 3 on the top E string as well. Textbook G chord, not quite a textbook G chord. Textbook G chord would have an open B string in it. And I've mentioned in sort of a few times that I don't particularly like the sound of some of that. It doesn't really do it for me. So if ever I'm playing a G, unless it absolutely has to have that open, that major third in it, that B string, I'll do it almost like a big power chord. So okay, if we don't want to play the big power chord, if we're struggling with the stretch for that, let's reduce it down. You can have your last 2 fingers on fret number 3 on the B and E strings, which is kind of convenient because the chord that follows it, would be a D. So the shift is this. Last 2 fingers, last 2 strings on fret number 3. For this like shortened G chord, we're actually playing it from the D string down. So we got 1 strum, 1 strum, 4 strings. And from there, we are going to D chord. Only a 3-note D chord, open D string, A string fret number 2, B string fret number 3. We normally, again, if we're talking about like a textbook D major chord, you'd have finger number 2 playing an F sharp note on the last string. Doesn't need to be there. Okay, third chord in, we've got an A. A power chord, open A string, D string fret 2, G on fret number 2. So let's take that back to, let's take it back to someplace before, just before 21 seconds in, and you can see how those chords fit in. You got the line of chords, a vocal line, the guitar chords, vocal line. They sort of exchange parts, if you like. They sort of weave in and out of each other. Let's take it back to just before 21 seconds. We'll have a lead in, and we can work it out and see what's happening. Okay, so here's what we've got. We've got G, D and A. Vocal line goes in there. He sings a line. G, D, A again. A line of vocals. Again, G, D and A. Another vocal line, and then a G, D and A. Then the next part, at 43 seconds, we've got 2 bars of A. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 2 bars of E. 1, 2, 3, 2 bars of A. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 2 bars of E. With the E chord that I'm playing, I've got it down as an E major, which works just fine. Just for the record, the setup that I'm using, I've got 2 speakers on the go. I've got 2 of my Sans amps running as well. One is sort of semi-clean, and the other one is distorted. So I'm almost getting sort of best of both worlds. I could do it on the Fender Twin, but it does get a bit loud. It's a bit easier to control off the Sans amp. So my left-hand speaker, other than my left hand and my right-hand one is sort of dirty, and the other one is clean. So it gives it kind of covers the sort of the spectrum of sound, if you like. But if that's not a too sort of pretentious thing to say. You get clean on one side, so you can hear the notes, and the other side's a little bit dirty, so we got a bit of grit. So let's take this back. We'll take it back to the again, just before sort of 22 seconds. You can see the G's, the D's, and the A's going past. And then we lead it into the bit before the bit before the chorus, which is 2 bars of A, 2 bars of E. That's what I'm saying. With the E major chord that I'm playing, what I'm choosing to do with that is with an E major chord, you should have open E string, A string fret 2, D string fret 2, G on fret number 1, open B string, open E string. I'm actually muting off the G on fret number 1 with my first finger. So what I get then is a stacked power chord. You get the low notes of a power chord, root 5th and octave, just for you sort of you techie guys, you theory geeks. Okay, E, B and E, muting off the G, still playing it, still strumming it, and then a B and an E on the top. A 5th and a root note on the top there. Okay, so A, power chord, E, E major with a G sharp with a major 3rd muted out. So let's take it back to 22 seconds, or just before. We've got the G, D and A repeated 4 times. They're into the pre-chorus with the A's and the E's and the A's and the E's. One time. 2 times. Hey, E 2 bars. A 2 bars. E 2 bars. Okay, so what do we got going on in the chorus? Chorus comes in at around about 55 seconds. If I find that part of the track, here we go. Okay, 55 seconds. Here's what we've got with the chorus. A. Same A we've been talking about, not an A major. Let's go sort of cheat on the G chord. Last 2 fingers, last 2 strings. Strum it from the D and the G. D power chord. Look, no F sharp on the top bit. We don't need that major 3rd there. And again with the E, if you can, strum it right the way through, hold the E major shape down, mute out that G sharp, getting rid of the major 3rds. Now we just go in for roots and 5ths. So A, G, D, E. A, G, D, E. That pretty much makes a repeat section back to the riff. So let's play that through. Let's take it back to just before 55 seconds, and we can see what's happening in that chorus that I've just played over. if I pause the track there, you might notice I was playing some chords in a slightly different position. We've got the chords that we've got with the verse G, D and A. If you want to break things up a little bit and put them someplace else, we can go so let's have a let's check out what's going on with that. Right, okay, our G chord this time is now on, well, we've got an open D string with a G on fret number 7 with a B string on fret number 8. So what are we thinking? Are we thinking of a D chord which has been shifted up the neck? D, move it up by 2 frets, you get E, move it up by another fret, F, one more fret, F sharp, not quite there yet. If you take it up to the frets that we were talking about, which is frets 7 and 8, G on fret 7, B string on fret 8, we actually get the same notes in a different position as the G chord down there. Do we need to play them in a different place? Not necessarily. Is it worth knowing where else you can play them? Yeah, sure. If you've got 2 guitars playing the same thing, it sort of disappears into not necessarily a mush, but it's sometimes it's good to have 2 guitars playing 2 different things in a couple of different places. What chord have we got next? So we went G to a D. The place to find a D chord in that area of the neck would be right here. We'll keep the D string open again. We'll go G on fret number 7, and we'll go B string on fret number 7. So the change is split over 2 frets, G on fret number 7, B on fret number 7. So the G chord again. Sorry to keep going over it, but we've got the G for the G chord using a D shape on fret 7 and 8. For the D chord, almost using an A shape right there. The third chord that we need with that, A major triad. An A major triad is a shortened version of a bar chord. It's the sort of center section of an A bar chord. The bar chord itself would look like that. If you were to Google that, what does an A major bar chord look like? I bet there's probably a million guys out on there's a million pictures of an A major bar chord in various different positions. We've stripped this down. We're stripping it down to the 3 component parts of it. 3 component parts being an A. We got this one here, which is a C sharp, and finger number 1 is playing an E note. To add a little bit of weight to this, to fill it out a little bit, we can also play the open A string. So those 3 chords in order, and I'll play them to the song in a second. The G, D shape, the D, and the A with the open A string in it. I think to make that A chord sound most effective, my personal preference would be just 3 notes of it. I'm not including this E note on the top. Again, if you've got 2 guitars playing it, that's all you need. Okay, so let's back this up to let's have a look. We'll take it from the chorus. A, G, D's and E's. We'll add these variations into the song as we play through it. So back to 55 seconds or just before. There we go. Chorus. G, D, E. Okay, cool. We got a breakdown in the middle of the song. Let's work out exactly where that breakdown is. Okay, 50 seconds. 50 seconds is a breakdown. A little keyboard fill, piano. There's a piano fill, which is followed up by a guitar fill. I'm not going to do a breakdown on the whole of the solo. I'll just throw a couple of ideas in. It's basically a lot of stuff I stole from watching a guy called Mike Eldred playing a song a little while back, and I pinched some ideas from it. It's sort of generic, bluesy kind of Chuck Berry-ish ideas. But there we go. Let's just drag this back to where the keyboard comes in, and okay. The lead guitar fill, ideas, purely ideas. It's not a note for note kind of thing. I'm going to base this off of A minor. It's nearer to a Dorian mode, but not really the intention of the lesson to delve too deeply into modes. It's just lead guitar ideas. So here's what I'm playing. I'm going to hit the G and the B on fret number 5. So double stop. Same 2 strings, fret number 7, and back down to fret 5. Going to finish that lick off with the D string on fret number 7, which is an A note. So the underpinning chord would be an A. An idea which we can have, there's a similar thing in, I think it's in the Pink Floyd song, and we've got taking both of these notes at the same time, the G on fret number 7, the B string on fret number 7, and we do a bend. I've got my last 2 fingers on those 2 strings there, finger 3 on the G on fret number 7, last finger, little finger on the B string on fret number 7, pick them. Now what really should be happening should be the B string should be going up by a semitone, and the G should be going up by a whole tone. Very, very, very difficult, almost nigh on impossible to do that. And even if you could, even harder to check the exact pitch of those notes you bend into. So what we're going for is getting something that just sounds right. That sounds like a very kind of general thing to say, but you certainly don't want that, which is like you're barely sort of pushing them anywhere. You sort of push them way too far. It sounds a bit ridiculous, and the G goes way too far anyway. So we're looking to keep. If we're talking specifics, I guess each note, we're trying to get each note to go up by a semitone. If you did a slide from one to the other, be that nowhere near as effective. I will hit that A string as the last note. So let's just take it back a little bit. Keyboard part comes in, and lead guitar part. And again, another idea which we can play. Improvising, just improvising. Play along with the guy. See if you can pick up some of the ideas he's using. Top 2 strings, fret number 5. Gives you like a little A power chord. Let's go for the top E string, fret number 8. Going from fret 8 to fret 7, back down to this chord. Do a similar idea on the B string, going fret 8, fret 7, down to fret number 5. Coming to rest on there, G on fret number 7, which would be a D note. Let's do the bend again. Pull off, back to fret 7, and wind it all up on that A, the root note of it all. I say, so this idea is I lifted from a Mike Eldred track they did. I think it was Bossa Nova Baby by the Mike Eldred Trio. There's a really nice lead guitar solo in it, which is sorry, a bit rough and ready, and it's in different. They do it in C. That's A minor. Lots of chromatics, lots of pull-offs. Major minor stuff, a little bit of Mixolydian mode, chromatics, blues scale, all sorts of stuff in it. So it's ideas that I worked out from, like I said, from that Mike Eldred track. So what if we do, let's take it back again to the keyboard part, do a playthrough and see if there's anything we've missed between now and the end of the song. I know there's a drum break at 3 minutes and 6 seconds. That's just one to listen out for. Drum fill. And we've got some lead guitar ideas as the song fades out. There you go, guys. I mean, hope that helps. A little bit rough and ready, certainly not a note for note kind of idea, but you've got a few different chords in a few different places, a couple of different ideas. You've got the riffs, chords, should be a fairly straightforward sort of play along. A little bit of theory in it as well, and if you want to tackle the lead guitar stuff, by all means do so. There we are. Cheers, guys. Greg at G.H.Guitars. See you in the next video. Thank you very much.